Good morning, guys. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly. This is Living the Dream podcast. Great to be with you guys this morning. It is around just after 9 on a Wednesday morning. Happy Wednesday. If you're the kind of guy now that's sitting there or girl thinking it's hump day, you need another job. I'm telling you, we need another job. So we're looking today at Ryan Skinner was supposed to be the guest today. He's having some technical problems. We'll see if he gets on. Other than that, guys, it's me and what I want to talk about today. And please send your messages in. Just let me pull the comments up for you. Please comment in on any questions you need me to ask or any questions you need me to answer. Just let me know and I will do it. So yesterday I was chatting with somebody and they were talking about the difference between an alcoholic and an addict and that we're all the same and you can't distinguish one from the other. Well, that's just not true, guys. It really isn't true. Let me explain. Alcoholics are born, drug addicts are made. So when we talk about alcoholism as a whole, it's a disease. It's passed down from generation to generation. If you can look back in 3 generations and you find alcoholism or someone died of liver failure, all the stuff we die from, then it's a self-diagnosed illness, is what it is. No, 10 DUIs do not make you an alcoholic. Okay. So it's absolutely in there. Now, there's a slight difference between alcoholic and heavy drinker or someone that abuses alcohol. There's a huge difference, guys, but it's minute to the layman eye because they both show up the same. So alcoholism born with the predisposition and the allergy to the ethanol in alcohol. So what happens is the mental obsession starts. We take the first drink and then the allergy starts. And that mental obsession halfway down that bottle will tell you that where's the next bottle coming from, even if you've got the next bottle. But as soon as you take that first drink, the head's done its job. Now the body's involved. So if you come off it almost straight away, what we find is the body gets sick. So you're in that crazy circle of self-destruction. And it's pretty hard to stop. We all know that. We're all alcoholics who listen to this and addicts and, sons and daughters or parents of alcoholics, addicts. Once you start, it's very hard to stop. And that's one of my qualifying questions when I take somebody on is when you take the first drink, can you stop? And if you can't, you're probably alcoholic if it's in the family. Whereas drug addiction is the addictive personality. So 90% of people that come to us with staunch heroin addiction started in the doctor's office. So the addicted mind is a very, very clever mind. Whatever we put our mind to, we end up doing. We'll talk about mind over matter shortly. As the mind, that's the matter, mind powerful, energy, can't see it, touch it, and the brain is matter. So once we make our mind up over matter, we can literally control our day and control our brain throughout that day. However, 3 parts of the brain reset every 24 hours. So you've got to do the same thing again. So hence that one day at a time, which is not an AA thing, goes back way before AA. It's like when the early philosophers and scientists and early psychologists found out that it changes every 24 hours, it reset. So when a normal circadian rhythm sleep pattern, usually between the hours of 2 and 5, is when the body at its lowest and the most repair is being done. It's also when most people die of natural causes. Ryan Skinner's on the show, guys. We can't wait to get him on. He's an amazing guy. He's a money man, a finance guy, but he also has a coaching company called Cracking the Code, which I've got to tell you guys is probably one of the best coaching companies I've come across because the guy is the guy's streetwise and the guy's been through it. He's been there and done it. And he's also very successful and he's been successful all the time. But now he's changing, trying to give it back to others, which I think is amazing. I've known him, I don't know, about 12 months maybe. My head's like, guys, I can't remember what I did yesterday. Never mind anything else. So quick break, guys. Thank you for joining us this morning, by the way. If you have any questions for Ryan as we go through, drop it on the comments. We'll ask live on Facebook, on RKRG and YouTube as we go along. Right after the short break, guys, Ryan Skinner's on the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. My name is Dr. Rob Kelly, live with Ryan Skinner this morning. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I know we had a couple of technical difficulties there, but I just hung around. I knew you'd get them finally. So, for the audience, listeners, and watchers, tell them what Ryan Skinner is all about.
Okay. Well, Ryan Skinner today is very different than the old Ryan Skinner. Years ago, Ryan Skinner was all about if you asked who he was, he'd hand you his business card. He was about trying to, it's all about show, fast cars, fast girls, outside stuff. And I always say, yeah, you got to lose it all to gain it all, right? You had to fall. Once I went through some tough times with drug addiction, homelessness, jails, institutions, death, the usual stuff that addicts go through. I was able to rebuild my life on spiritual principles. And at first, it was just about coming back and being solid and being stable financially and emotionally. And at some point, God works for people. People have come into my life. You're one of those people that motivated me to pay it forward. To whom much, I'm not a big Bible guy, but to whom much is given, much is expected. And that's something I hold on to dear to my heart. And every time I'm paying it forward and I'm blessing other people, God's a blessing to me. And when I'm worried about Ryan, and I'm selfish, you know what? It's a lonely way of being.
I found that myself, and I know we've known each other for not a long time, but I know when we first connected, like we connect on a bigger level than just two people connecting. And I'm loving what you do. I love what you do in the finance industry, but I also love what you do with the coaching and the podcast that you do. I was actually on your podcast some time ago, and it was just amazing. And I knew quite a little from there that we're going to get on. I'm going to take you back, Ryan. I know that you've been very successful. Like Ryan was just saying, the Ferraris, the big house, the watches, the girls, and sooner or later that gets a bit boring when we
Yeah.
find out that that's not the answer to my happiness. So, what made you change from pure finance and chasing the money to helping people? Where was that change, and how does that look like?
I believe that, people come into our lives for a reason. I've had some really good mentors. My buddy Billy, who pulled me back from the gates of hell. People that I saw, and I saw that, you guys don't see it when you're in it. You guys sometimes get lost in yourselves. But I know when I look at Billy or I look at you, you're at your best when you're helping people. When I see Rob at his best, he's reaching out, he's there, he's being of service to others. When I see Billy, same thing. So I realize there's a common denominator. It's kind of like if I plug an electric cord in the outlet, it's useless until I plug something into the other end. But if I put a light bulb in, boom, it glows and energy flows through it. Well, same thing with power. I always say, when you get sober and clean, God gives you go to work for God. And it's called spirit of the universe, energy, whatever the hell you call it, Uncle Jimmy. And when you're working for that source and you're trying to be of service, if I go to work and I'm a CPA or an accountant, I get a calculator, paper, pencils, all the BS. If I go to work for God, He's got to provide. He's got to give me wealth and abundance so that I can be out doing His legwork. If I don't have those things, I have to go to work every day, do a regular job. And I realize if I'm out just trying to be a service and bless others, at some point when you own a business, you and I both know when you make enough money, another 100 grand doesn't matter. Right? Another watch doesn't matter. Another sports car doesn't matter. Any of the BS, it just doesn't matter. But man, if you can help somebody else to achieve a goal, like one of the girls that works for me is buying a house, her first house, I'm probably more excited than she is. You know what I mean? It's bigger than me. It's being a part of something bigger. And I'm sending a woman who runs my office on a what are those things? A Viking cruise next year. I want her to take a week and relax. I wouldn't do that for myself, but for somebody I care about, absolutely. So I've realized that when you're trying to be a service and trying to make somebody else's life better, somehow there's some sort of energy that comes back to you. And that happened it really hit me probably in the last couple of years. It really hit me. I was in, kind of an unhealthy situation in my home life. I was just kind of in some turmoil, and I realized that, if I'm going to be at my best, I have to be helping others.
I love that. Absolutely. Hey, Michael, good to see you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe tomorrow, Mike, when you come down to the office, it'll be freaking awesome. Thank you so much. How bad was you, Ryan?
That was
Going
I.
back to the old days, the old days, we think I know it was a few years ago now, but how bad was it? Explain, because people will be able to relate to this real good.
I'll give you an example. I mean, I was like the all-American boy. I was in finance at seventh grade. I was mentored by the great Peter Lynch. And anybody who knows Peter, he was the best of our business. By 25, I had a good practice. I was doing well. I was having success. I think I had 3 houses, 2 cars, and I had probably close to $1 million between retirement money and regular money. I had some surgeries, got hooked on OxyContin, and they did what they were supposed to do. And then they took me off the medication, I was buying them on the street. And then when I ran out of the money, I would never be a junkie. That's the one thing I would never do. Well, guess what? By 28, I was putting a needle on my arm, and then getting in violent fights and whatnot, and ended up in jail. A friend of mine was chief probation. I said, "You're not going to screw me." He goes, "Screw you." He's like, "You're out getting in trouble, and I'm supposed to be watching you." He said, "I'm holding you, bud." And I bottomed out. I was what you consider a bottom of the barrel junk box. You know what I mean? People would look down. I was an intravenous drug user. I was homeless, or in jails. I broke my mother's heart. I lost everything. More importantly, I lost myself. Like, I was raised better than that.
Yeah, that's the part. We lose our identity. That's when most people suffer, because most people up on here uh, obviously have lost their identity. It's one of the biggest things we do. You know. Question on the spot. What's the worst thing you did?
Well, I won't say the worst thing I did, but I'll give you something pretty bad.
Yeah,
How's that? Because I don't want
yeah,
anything
I know the
recorded.
answer to that. I shouldn't have asked you
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, yeah, well enough. I mean, everything from kicking in doors and robbing drug dealers at their homes to stabbing people to, you want the truth? The worst thing I ever did was that I always say I never stole from a client. I never stole money, but I stole their peace of mind. Like, clients would be calling me, and yeah, their money was okay, but if they don't get an answer on the other line from their financial guy, guess what? Whether their money's okay or not, if they don't know, they don't have peace of mind. So I stole people's peace of mind. Clients, my mom and dad, people that are closest to me. We always hurt the ones with our last name. That's probably the worst thing I ever did.
It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy in what we do, but
It's,
we do it, and we continue to do it until we get well. So explain what you do today, both finance and the new coaching company. Explain what that's about.
So, it's funny. I was out having coffee with a girl last night, and she said, "Well, tell me about what you do." And I'm like, I don't even know how to describe it. I basically, I always say I'm like a kid. I've never had a job. I've done this my whole entire life. So what I do in my retirement practices, people come to see me when they're near retirement or retired, and I help them to take the nest egg they built, whether it's 401ks, IRAs, lump sum pensions. I help them to build a retirement plan. So what we do is we look at what a client wants to live on, needs, what they need to survive, food and shelter, wants, travel, grandkids, golf. We see what we can get guaranteed, Social Security or pension. And that gap, that shortfall, that's how I make a living. My job is to make sure clients can use their 401ks and IRAs to close that gap with a guaranteed income for life. An income that lasts as long as they do it and keeps up with inflation. And if I can't do that, because some people come and they can't, frankly, I tell them I can't help them. So that's my financial business in a nutshell. And my coaching business is this. So over time, so many other advisors were coming to me. The truth, they were saying, "Hey, if you can go from being an outright heroin addict junkie to number one in our industry in less than 10 years, what are you doing?" I mean, a good advisor might take on $2 or $3 million of assets a year. We do 3 to 6 million a month. So as a result, they're saying I'm an anomaly. And the truth is, they don't want to hear it. I always say I get them with the material. I flip them to the spiritual. They come to me because they see the outside stuff, the cars, the this, the that. And then when I get them, I say, "Listen, if you're a service to people, you work for God. Call it God, you spirit of the universe, Allah, Abraham, whatever you want to call it. When you do that, the rewards come." And suddenly the outside stuff, like, I could care less about buying another car right now. I used to want, what's the next one? I'll never buy another watch probably. But I'll tell you right now, I'll pay for 5 guys to go to detox tomorrow. So I use my success in other ways. But we help guys, they are usually men and women though sometimes, to help say, "Hey, if you're a financial guy and you're making 150, I can get you to 5, because all you need is systems." And people think it's business systems, make this many calls. That's BS. Very little of what we make, you and I know, has to do with what we do, marketing and other crap. Here's what I say to people: "Well, do you roll out of bed? What do you do?" "Well, hit your knees and pray." "Okay, have you meditated today? Do you journal? Have you worked out in the morning? Are you eating clean?" And all these things, if they're structured throughout the day, the result's success every single time. It's like gravity. If I drop this and you drop it, it hits the ground at the same time. It works for everybody. Same with spiritual principles.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Modern day Noah. Oh my God. It's going to be great next month, man. You come to the conference. It'll be freaking awesome. Can't wait to see you. You and your lovely girlfriend or wife. I've never asked you that, but thank you so much. Yes, Ryan is awesome. Yeah, he is. So give me some advice. The reason why we only do 20 minutes on here is because when you're using neuroscience, that is it. You're at 20 minutes, people can start to flounder and jump off and stuff. So I want to really get into giving advice to either parents who find their kid, wasted every day and either alcohol or drugs. I mean, what's the first thing happens when they call you? I mean, I know they should call you, but what's the first thing that happens?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
clients coming all the time asking me about their kids, and I always have a PhD in opioids, and alcohol abuse. I do. I mean, people. I don't care how long you go to school for. I can pretty much know as much when it comes to that stuff. Sadly, my advice is you got to. It's tough love. I have a lot of people I know find the kid dead in their bed. If you think they have a drug addiction, you say, I'm either going to drive you to a detox,
Yeah.
or I'm going to drive you to a friend's house, or I'm going to drop you off on the street, but you can't stay here. 9 out of 10 times that kid will get sober. The other time, yeah, they'll die in the streets. If you keep them in your house and one's bed, 8 out of 10 times they die in the bed.
Yeah. That's crazy. Absolutely. Now, your program is it a 30 days, 60, 90? Is it 2 times a week, 3 times a week, or does that depend on,
Well, it
the
varies.
advice you get?
Usually, a client will do a year, and what we'll do is we'll start off 5 days a week for 2 weeks. Then we'll do 3 days a week. Then we'll get down to 2 days a week. I don't like to go any less than 2 days a week because then what happens is, if I'm trying to coach these people to build their business and stuff, what'll happen is they'll go rogue. And if they fall into a bad habit on a Monday, they talk to me, by the following Monday, they're already in dog crap habit. But if I can check in with them, I also like them to check in via text, kind of like you do at first, like X amount of times, and you lighten the reins a little. And then at the end, it's more of almost like a bond, like a friendship bond. It's not as much of a rigid hold on them as it is, hey, now we've got you producing. As long as the numbers are there, like if a client comes to me and says, hey, I'm bringing in 200,000 in revenue this year, I want to get to 4. As long as we're on track to blow by 4 by 20% higher, and we're doing 480, I'm all set with losing up on you. Sometimes clients keep me on as a retainer after a year, and they want to keep me as somebody who would just kind of check in with them. I believe in that. I mean, I asked you to do that with me. I said, listen, with this coaching business, I need you to kind of keep it checked in. Can we work? And I believe in that. Some people, they're rocking and rolling. They don't need me. And, at that point, it's just a friendship. It varies. And some people, it's just business and they move on after.
Yeah, we find that as well, obviously. It usually goes out to 12 months. We say it's a 3 to 6 month program, but it usually happens once or twice a week just to keep, I have a therapist, I go see, and I think everybody needs that person to rely on because it's a lonely business, first of all. I know finance and coaching can be lonely. Any business can be lonely once you've been successful because everyone thinks you've got everything, you know everything, and nobody needs to comment on you. Where really deep down inside, we always need that validation and approval of other people, but not in a needy way. It's just people, don't tell people anymore. Hey, you're amazing, you're fantastic. Thank you for doing that. It's very rare that people do that because you think we already know. Where can we find you, Ryan?
So you can find me right now. We're updating the website. It's crackingthecodewithryanskinner.com. Tell me that's not a mouthful. They can also reach out and give us a call. They can give me a call at 617-733-2396. Usually what I do is when I'm on podcasts like this, any of the first 10 callers, I can give a discounted rate as a respect for you and what you've done for some of my people. So we'll give, 60% off for the first 6 months. After that, it's usually we work it out from there. Most people, if they do 6 months, they're going to see a jump start. I tell people, if you're not seeing a jump start, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, so true. So I see so many people taking people on for money. And I know you're not like that because it's really hard for you to, Ryan was going to come over to see us, and I'm like, listen, I'm paying for your airfare, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no. I'm like, please, no. I was like, please, it's not about the money, guys. It's about getting you well. So much information. He's probably in my top 3 of best friends right now because a couple of reasons. One of them because he's streetwise, man. I love streetwise people, and I hate weak men. I just don't like weak men. I think we should stand up and be the fuck who we are. Stop worrying about what people think about us. Secondly, very intelligent, obviously. And the third, which I hate saying, but I'm going to say, is a fucking good-looking bastard, and I hate that as well. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I'll tell you, the old quote I like that you'll love. I'm sure you heard this quote 1,000 times, but I love this. Tough times make tough men. Tough men make soft times. Soft times make soft men. Soft men make tough times. The world we live in, it's a tough world because you know what? People are soft.
Yeah, they are. Just stand up and be counted, guys. Ryan, thank you so much, man. And obviously, I'll see you tomorrow, I think. But thank you so much for coming on. And you're just amazing, man. Give us that phone number one more time, Ryan.
617-733-2396.
Your personal cell or the receptionist?
That's I put it right through to me, and then I hand it off to Megan, who runs my business. But my attitude is, if I'm like you, I want to talk to you first because I don't just take on that. Listen, I lose money with the coaching business. I don't make nearly as much as I do with the financial business. So if I'm going to take the time to do it, we better be doing something bigger than you and me. We got to be doing something that's going to touch the world. Like you said to me, listen, we're not. This isn't about you and me. This is bigger than us.
Yeah, it really is, man. You heard that. It's not about the money. Ryan's losing money sometimes, like I did when
Yeah.
I first started. I know they foreclosed on my house when I was trying to help people free, and not one person came to my aid. Somebody sent $20. God bless them. To pay my mortgage. But yeah, that's the world we live in. But yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. I'll speak to you soon, and you're the best, man. Absolutely
I
best.
love you, brother. Have a great day.
You
Be
too.
well. Bye.
Come back to the back half of the show, guys. Big shout out to, or RIP, big shout out to Rick, who was my sponsor for many years. He passed away probably about 10 days now. I didn't mention him on the show last week because I think it just happened. But yeah, Rick was an amazing guy and he helped more people than anybody else I know. He would go broke rather than help somebody who was suffering and going to die than go to freaking work. He was an amazing guy. God bless him. Thank you, Rick. I know you're listening up there for everything that you've done and everything that you're still going to do. Because I know you'll be talking to me every day, pointing me in the right direction. So, Rick, thank you so much, man, for what you do. Guys, a couple of things I need to tell you about before we go. Obviously, we've got a few things coming up here in the future. So, obviously, my sites, guys, and then we've got the Rob Kelly Foundation. The Rob Kelly Foundation, Ashley runs that. It's 210-981-9499. It's at the bottom of the screen. Guys, if you've got $1, put it in, please. This is different to any other donation you're going to make, and I'll tell you why. Let's say you donate $10 or 10 million, makes no difference. So you donate $10. And then what happens is that we get that $10 and we may add some more with other people and we'll help somebody. Like, for instance, buy a new suit because he's going in court to get his children back for once a week. The weekend dad will pay for that suit. We'll pay for legal costs. But what happens is when they receive your donation, you will receive an email from the guy we donated to, telling him exactly, how much he got from your donation, which is full. We don't have any paid staff here, none whatsoever at the foundation, and you can see tangible results. And he'll send you an email every year, man, as he grows and grows and grows. So I know it's my foundation. I'm only pushing it because we can help more people, guys. That's what it's about. What's happening in April? Oh my goodness! Listen, guys, in EuroHeroConference.com. Jump on there. There's going to be loads of people there. We've got some great speakers lined up, man. Absolutely mind-blowing speakers lined up. Angie Manson's going to be the MC. If you don't know Angie with the purple hair, she does more, again, than anybody else I know for the community. She runs a great treatment center over there as well. But absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. And you'll see her on the weekend of Friday and Saturday when we hold the conference. NeoHeroesConference.com is the website. Got to look at Protect Security, guys. It's a company that we got involved with about 2 weeks ago. Protect Security and AI automation and Protect TV. If you're interested in what Protect TV in a sentence, you get every channel in the UK, every channel in the US, pay-per-view fights, everything you can, all the football games, all the soccer games, everything you can get on one stick for a ridiculous price. We'll cut that cable bill at least by 60%. All right, guys, I think that's it. A big shout out, of course, Courtney Davis, who organizes all of this for us. Absolutely amazing. If you want to be on the show, you do not have to be a big superstar or 214-566-1882. Called Courtney. And basically what it is, if you have a story, just a story, man, okay? If you have a story you want to share with the world, come on and share that story because that's what it's about. It doesn't have to be crazy. And I know what you're thinking, guys. You sit there thinking, oh, well, I've got nothing to offer. You have stuff to offer. Watch out for Neuro Realty Partners. It's where neuroscience teaches realtors how to make $1 million in the first year, especially with everything going on in the real estate industry right now. So don't forget to give us a call. I think that's it, guys. Have a fantastic week. And remember, if you want something, visualize it. Don't have a plan B. Attach a feeling to that dream or vision and then act as if you've already got it. And you know something? People tell me all the time it can't be that easy. It really is that easy, guys. I mean, it really is that easy. Try it. Please try it. And listen, we'll speak to you Wednesday next week, same time, same back channel. Apart from that, be kind to each other and compliment 3 people a day.